Welcome to this week's edition of Inside the Cardinal Playbook. It's my pleasure to be with the great William Jewell head coach, Sean Weigel. And Sean, last two ball games, I saw a great effort from your club. You've got to feel good about it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's as we talked in our team meeting yesterday, and that I was extremely proud of their efforts. And there's a lot of people that played, and they didn't quit. There's no quit in them, and those are the things we need to do to get to a winning standard. And now we just got to do all that same effort and just a few little things that really turn the tide. And but I could have been more excited about the team and how those guys responded in a day that was really hot. Yeah, it was really hot, and we hadn't won. I mean, it would have been easier for them to just say, let's just go home.
Well, they sure didn't do that. It was a brutal day to play on that turf. And let's go to that point. Every negative has a positive, and I saw the positive. I saw a lot of kids, and we discussed them before we became on the show today. A lot of kids that really showed well. You played everybody that came on the bus, didn't you? Everybody.
Yeah.
Even the third-string quarterback was on that punt formation.
It was darn near everybody.
Yeah.
We didn't pull a red shirt on a couple of them, but yeah, we played a bunch. We knew it was going to be hot, and with our pace we were going to be playing offensively, that we were going to need to put some fresh bodies in there and give some people a break if we could. And they stepped up, and we had an opportunity to win the game, and that's what you hope for every Saturday.
Well, you look through that though. You've got a lot of redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores, and juniors. I mean, there was a host of underclassmen played in that ball game Saturday. Yeah. I mean, the future looks good on both sides of the ball.
It does, but I don't. We're really not interested in the future. Want them to win now.
Now, absolutely.
That's the big thing. Wanted them to win week 1 and week 2. We want to win next week. You
look at the conference, and we talk about our game against St. Joan, then our ball game against McHenry. I felt like we're right there. We're definitely not playing over our head as far as competition. We're equal. We just got to make the breaks, right?
Right. Yep. And that's the best quote. Make the breaks. We got to make that happen.
Right.
And it's those little things that we do, and we got to stay away from fumbles when we have drives going, and just little things of stepping in front of them instead of batting up.
Yeah, just the little things that you work on every day in practice. Yeah. That you have to be aggressive enough. If you're going to step in front, you got to feel like you can intercept that ball.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be.
Yeah, or just trigger a little bit more. But I tell you what, it was a loss, and you think that's tough, but you look back and see how hard they played and how focused they were on the sideline. And in the past there's been 14 or 15 people cramping, can't go and things of that nature. And this team's not going to do that.
Third down conversion. We talked about that a little bit too.
There were some.
We're talking about their third down conversions early.
Okay.
If we really the first quarter and starting about halfway probably through the second quarter, we stopped those third down conversions, we win the ball game. Because they were third and longs.
Yeah.
And they like you said, intercept a pass, knock down the pass. You're right there. It'd be a lot different if you were wide open or whatever the case may be, or you slipped but you were right there on all of them. That's just a fine line, and I know that's frustrating for you. As a coach, how are you approaching it?
Well, it is frustrating. Yeah, it's frustrating. We talked about that and how frustrated that everybody is. We're sitting here winless, and we didn't think we were going to be in this situation, but we're still in control of our destiny. And so, what was it? Why are we making a check that we hadn't made since we came into fall camp? That was the first. We had two players on the wrong check. All of a sudden, it wasn't a check for this week's game. And then next thing you know, bad things happen. So eliminate that. I mean, it's a little thing, but it turned into a huge thing.
Right.
Because it was an 80-some yard play or whatever. And but that, and we just got to keep at them. They got to focus just a little bit more in practice where we eliminate that stuff. Or if I post as an offensive lineman, why? Because you'll sit here and tell me. But then you got to do it, so all those little things, and it all comes back to me and Coach Steph. And I thought our Coach Steph did a fantastic job of having the guys ready to play. We were just talking about that in our
They were ready. They played well.
Yeah, and special teams,
Well, that's what I want to bring up. We always talk about the three phases. Every football coach that ever lived always talks about the three phases, but you won the specialty team phase on Saturday. Yeah. We could sit here and debate offense and defense all day long, but you won.
Right.
The specialty team thing. You had to feel good about that.
Yeah, absolutely did. It was nice to see DeMarcus getting in. Of course, it's not just him, but that thing popped, and everybody did a really good job on it. You could look at that, and it was a textbook teaching tape on kickoff return on the way they ran that, and it was a huge play. We need to make a couple field goals there, continuous momentum things and whatnot. But we'll continue to clean that up. But
I was talking to Rhett, and he works with us in baseball, and he said he wasn't sure, but he thought he was averaging. He's really a good kid. He didn't care about his, but he said, I think I'm averaging around 42 a punt, pretty solid. But I mean, he had to punt, like we said, 11 times the other day, and he got you guys out of a lot of jams. But I thought the punt coverage, I was talking to him about that, and your kickoff coverage was really good this week.
Yeah, it was across the board. Our gunners did a great job. Once we had a holding problem with them on a couple of those, and they finally got the calls right. But Alex Jimenez and then Marvin White.
Jimenez was just ripping him coming down as a gunner. He told
us he was going to do that 4 games, so I hope he tells me again this week that he's going to do that.
He did a great job. Yeah. He really did a great job. Okay, this week, like you said, we're in the present. And those are over, done with, move on. Hopefully we continue to improve like we have the last 2 games. Okay, we go down and play S&T. It's their homecoming. We played 7 o'clock. Let's talk a little bit about S&T. Had a big win over St. Joe. Scored a lot of points last week.
Yeah, they did. Kind of a tale of two tales. I think from an offensive standpoint, they didn't know what the field conditions were going to be, because early on in the game last week, they were 22 personnel and whatnot going up, and didn't know what the turf was going to be. But we're gonna see 10 and 11 personnel. Got a big quarterback, 6'4", 245 that can throw it a long ways. So we're going to see some deep balls out of them, and they're going to keep doing it. He can wing it. The field's he's going to obsolete the football.
He's so big and so strong, he can take it to the parking lot.
Like Tiger Woods in the golf course, he's obsolete. This kid throws the ball so far. But they're a good team, and that's something. There's a reason they picked their homecoming Hall of Fame for us. So they're going to be ready to go.
How about difference in playing at 7 o'clock at night to usually? Most of the time, we're an afternoon team.
Right.
And, it does come into play a little bit because your clock is a little different. How are you looking at that?
Well, I'll tell you what we did is we run in what causes problems in the hotels, because you don't want to do anything. You don't want to get out of there while they have checkout times, and they want you to consolidate to a couple rooms and things of that nature, and it really becomes kind of
chaos.
So instead of doing that, we're gonna load up Saturday morning and go down, and we'll stop in Jeff City and have our pregame meal, and we'll watch college football on the way down there, and it's either that or sit around all day.
And that's tough.
I hate it.
I did too. As a coach, both football and basketball, tournament, I hated that. I hated that. It's really tough to keep them also focused, and you're better off to say, okay, we're going to go do this, and then come back and, get home whenever. That's just part of the deal, But really, the trip's, 3 hours, 3.5 hours?
Something like that. It's not bad.
Yeah, so, that's something that you're used to and stuff. But I know that you have to plan differently for practice time's still the same during the week then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do everything. Of course, you've got classes and stuff you got to consider with the kids as well.
Right.
Just looking at the season from this, where you're at, we're almost, this will be the halfway point of your season. Any comments?
Growth. We've seen some growth, and we talked about the last 2 weeks, and that's something. It's challenging when you're winless. But when you look at the effort and everything, we know that there's a lot of good things happening.
Oh, there is.
And on the verge of it, it just doesn't show in the win-loss column, and so that people really, they just look at the newspaper, they don't know the happenings within and the strides we've made in the last couple weeks and the standards that we're starting to reach. So.
Well, I thought we had a pretty good crowd too in that heat over there. I think that's one of our biggest away crowds we've had, and we've had the opportunity to mingle with some of the parents, and they're real positive. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd there Saturday, 7:00 start, right? Conference game, S&T. We've been pretty successful last couple of years against S&T, but I think they got a little better club than maybe they've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So
we're going to see a bare front.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how. I want to see this guy throw it out of the park. Maybe we just got to fan out.
He can sling it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to get the jugs machine out to simulate it.
Simulate it on the field. Well, Coach, your approach is really good and very positive, and stay with it. Things sooner or later the worm turns. When that guy's going to say, "I've had enough," and make the play, and it's going to be a difference. Again, hopefully all the fans that don't come down will listen to Rick and myself at 7:00 on Saturday night. Hopefully all of you can join us. The kids are really playing hard. It has been 2 great efforts in a row. So that'll end this week of Inside the Cardinal Playbook.